Hi there, it's Riikka Kovasin here with a video for A.B.Studio. This time I'm making a canvas. I mixed several newbies from the 2023 in this make, and here I'm first showing the supplies I've gathered for this canvas. Of course I'm not using everything, but I used papers from 3 different collections. I start by adding this kraft colored piece of cardstock inside my canvas. I first choose one of the patterns that really pleases my eye and then cut a little bit bigger than the inside of the canvas from that sheet and then tuck it in. I do use some medium to hold it, but basically it's just kind of tucked in between the frame and the canvas. Next, I'm then choosing a pattern paper for the frame, and I end up using this beautiful blue paper. I was first thinking of leaving the frame white, but the contrast seemed a bit too harsh, so I take some acrylic paints and paint the frame using them. I'm mixing white with a denim blue on top of the project in order to get this kind of a varying layer of color, but also to make it look a little bit weathered. After drying the paint, I then collage the thin strips I'm cutting out of the pattern paper to the rim. I tear little pieces out of it and then attach them using a gel medium. Now that I have some kind of coating of color in the center and also in the frame, it's time to add the first dimensional layer. For that I'm using modeling paste and an A.B.Studio stencil. I chose that kind of lace pattern because to me that looked perfect for this kind of vintage romantic style canvas. I'm first adding a little bit of pattern to the inside or kind of the central area to just have a little bit more interest and layers in there, but I'm also adding the pattern to the frame. After that, I then let the project air dry and also clean my stencil and palette knife with water. Next, I then start the building process of the layers or the focal point. First, I'm adding a little bit of color again, and I'm using this kind of a baby blue, sky blue color first, and then adding the denim also in the mix. I'm mainly adding color to the center of the piece, but also add touches here and there around the frame. This is just kind of breaking that area, adding a little bit of something, but also tying the two together because there's now the pattern going on in both places and then the colors as well. After adding the colors to the project, I then color one embellishment. It's this little metal label thing. It's silver colored, but I want to add the blue to that as well. So first I'm painting the whole thing blue and then I'm rubbing off the paint from the raised areas so the text and the edges still look silver. Then it's time to start the actual paper layers. I'm using the little wooden pieces out of the canvas pack to make the layers more dimensional. So I'm first adding a couple of wooden pieces underneath everything and then adhere these cut out pieces out of one of the 12 by 12 sheets on top. Both of these frames are cut out from one 12 by 12 sheet. I'm using this Tim Holtz vintage photo as my focal point, this lovely little girl, but I'm making a background for her using those cut out elements like the frames and then a clock also. I'm kind of hiding it partially because you don't see a lot of it in the finished piece, but I know it's kind of there, creating a little background, adding a little something. I'm speeding up the process, and here you can see the project in a bit more ready stage. Now I'm concentrating to the frame and adding a couple of cut out hoses there, kind of continuing the same color scheme and this feeling of the pastel colors and romantic throughout the whole project. To make those embellishments or little details also dimensional, I'm using the same wooden pieces to raise them from the frame. I also add a little blue pet bird for her or near her, and then start adding some paper flowers to highlight the romantic feel. I continue the same color scheme I have going with these beautiful pale blue tones, but also the tones of old paper and a little bit of peachy color that are present in the collection I'm working with. Almost done. Now some lace here and there. These are pieces out of vintage lace I have, and then some rhinestone stickers here and there to finish the project. In these I'm also using the same color scheme, going with those old paper tones with the lace, and then kind of this pearly white with the rhinestones, not bringing another color in. After I have those in place, I then add a little bit of splashes using the same kind of brown tone I have in the background of the centerpiece. So I press an ink pad to a piece of plastic and then use a wet brush to pick up that ink and splash it to the project. And after that, the canvas is done. There's the photo of the finished piece and some detail shots still coming. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please consider subscribing and hit that bell sign to be notified when a new video comes live. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be seeing you with another A.B.Studio project next month. Thank you. Bye.